Hello friends, now we are going to study power system model for stability studies. We have seen at any generating power station there are many generators used to connect parallelly. So we can take one and we are drawing single line diagram. So this is generator and let us assume this is transformer, this is transmission line and again this is heavy loads, very large load basically. We can see at the side of generator, we can represent these parallel generators with one equivalent generator and this single line diagram, and this very large load we can represent as infinite bus. So we represented this single machine, all the parallel generator to single machine, and this is infinite bus. So what we say to this model is SMIB system. SMIB system basically. SMIB system means single machine infinite bus system. So now we will have one question in mind. What is infinite bus basically? So infinite bus is the bus where voltage and the frequency of this bus will always be constant. Means whatever happen, this voltage and this frequency will not change. How it is possible? So infinite bus means we can assume that bus which have infinite loading, means the load is infinite. So whenever we know that if we will do change in reactive power load, then there will be change in voltage, and if we will do the change in active power, then there will be change in frequency. We already know that. So what will happen? Infinite bus means infinite loading. Infinite minus something is something 15 12 is infinite. So if we are looking from this bus always whether load is changing or not, the active power and reactive power will be same, means the reactive power will always be same whether it is changing or not, it will become always infinite. So the voltage of will be constant, and for active power the frequency will be constant. So that is why this bus is always called as infinite bus. Infinite bus means infinite loading bus basically. So infinite loading means voltage V and F will be always constant, and this particular model is called as SMIB system. Now we are again dealing with detail the SMIB system. So now we have one single machine infinite bus means SMIB system. So SMIB system, let us assume the receiving in voltage is VR at the angle of 0, VR at the angle of 0, and the sending in machine will be Vs at the angle of delta. So basically the maximum amount of power that can be transferred PE is P max sine delta, that is Vs into VR into x sine of delta. So PE value is equal to Vs into Vr upon x sine delta. So this is P max. So this is P max. And we can represent this like we can represent this if we are taking the delta at x axis and PE at y axis. So we can represent this like this. We can take only pi degree, okay? So this will be pi by 2 and this will be P max. Basically this will be P max. So we know that, and this is pi by 2 and this is pi. So P is equal to P max sine delta. Let us assume 2.5 is equal to 5 of sine of delta. So if we will compare PE equal to P max sine delta, okay, so delta is equal to nothing but 30 degree. So what does this equation means basically? It means it maximum value P max here is P max is 5 pu, 5 pu, and the generator is delivering 2.5 pu. So it is not necessary that the P max is 5 pu, so generator will always be delivering 5 pu. No, it has the angle, operating angle. It is operating at delta angle, and delta is 30 degree. So it will be somewhere near. Okay. So here you can take delta is equal to 30 degree. So delta is equal to 30 degree. Somehow it will be here, and you can say here that 2.5. So 2.5 is equal to P max sine delta, means we can say that if the generator is generating 2.5 pu and the maximum power is 5 pu, so we can say that the generator is delivering 2.5 pu of power. So this is how we saw that the maximum power and the generator is operating, and this is called as PE delta curve. This is basically P delta curve. Later on, we will see that what is T delta curve basically. There is a difference between PE delta curve and T delta curve. Now we will see further. So this is all about the P is equal to P max sine delta, the power transfer, and P max in case of steady state stability, this is the maximum power of power that can be transferred. So it can be said as steady state stability limit also. Steady state stability limit. Or if you are dealing with large signal, so this will be large signal stability limit. So always consider P max is steady state stability limit, or whatever the analysis we are doing. If we are doing the dynamic stability, then this will be dynamic state stability limit, and if you are dealing with large signal stability, then this will be large signal stability limit. So always consider P max is limit, power, maximum power limit. So this is how the power is transferring through this system. This delta is here basically. Delta we know that delta S minus delta R means delta of sending in minus delta of receiving is the delta. So if this will be 0 and this will be delta, so initially delta, the angle difference it will be directly delta. So P is equal to P max sine delta. So now we are going to focus on this X. So you have been heard the transfer impedance. Why this name as transfer impedance, and what is the importance in power transfer? P is equal to P max means Vs into Vr upon X sine delta. So this X is called as transfer impedance. Transfer is here, it will be transfer reactance basically. See guys, transfer reactance or transfer impedance is what? So let us assume we have a transmission line which do not have any reactance. So this will be simple resistor, and we are dealing with initially lagging load. Lagging load. If we are dealing with lagging load, so this will be VR at the angle of 0, and this will be, if we will draw the Vs, then this will be R and this will be IR. So here if we are calculating the value of Vs, means any angle delta. So now I am not writing here this, I am simply writing Vs. I am simply writing Vs. So Vs value will be equal to, the Vs value will be equal to Vr plus R into IR. So now we are taking the help of diagram of phasor. So this, let us assume VR as reference, and if our load have IR angle that is lagging, so IR will be lagging an angle of delta. So this, and now if we want to add Vs will be equal to Vr plus R into IR. I am writing all the vectors. So all the vector, these are all the vector. So Vs is equal to IR. Let us assume this is R into IR. So Vs plus IR. So this will be Vs. So this will be Vs, and we can see this delta is negative. This is the basically power factor, and this delta is negative. This delta is negative. The angle between receiving end voltage and receiving end current is basically phi phi of r you can say, and the angle difference between this Vs and Vr will be equal to delta, and now this angle is basically delta. So what is the meaning of delta to be negative? Means the load will generate power to the source, and this is not possible. You can see here delta is negative, and in case of generator delta should always be positive, though this will not be. It means we can say that in case of lagging load, if the transmission line only has resistance, then power transfer is not possible. So this is the case of lagging. Now we are going to deal with unity power factor. So now we are going to see in case of unity power factor. So this is a unity power factor load. Unity power factor load means VR and IR will be in same direction, and if this is VR is equal to VR at the angle of 0, so this will be Vs. So Vs we can write VR plus R into IR. So basically Vs value will be equal to what? VR plus, basically I am adding with green, so this will be R into IR. Now you can say that this will be Vs, and now there is angle difference between Vs and Vr is delta is equal to 0. So with the formula of P is equal to P max sine delta, the PE will be equal to P max into 0. So PE will be equal to 0. So in case of lagging load and in case of unity power factor load, if the transmission line do not have the reactance, then power transfer is not possible. But in case of leading power factor, now you can see in the case of leading power factor, in case of leading power factor, basically VR is here and IR is here. So if we want to add Vs will be equal to VR plus R into IR. Basically this is VR and this is R and this is IR. So this will be VR plus R into IR. So this will be R into IR. So this will be this time Vs. So this will be Vs. Now delta have positive angle, but in case of capacitor or in case of leading load, the power transfer would be very small amount. So generally if you will see, our load will be inductive or resistive, but in case of inductive and resistive, we do not having any power transferred from source to load basically. So if the reactance will be present in this, so we can transfer our power. Now I am going to represent with the help of reactance. If we are having only reactance, then what will happen? This will be lagging load, and this will be J into XL, and this will be Vs, and this will be I into R. So you can write Vs value will be equal to Vr plus, this is Vr plus IR into J into XL. So when we will draw the diagram, this, let us assume VR and our load has lagging power, so IR, so the angle difference would be phi R. So now if we are adding IR into JXL, we have to add. So IR is in this direction, so J will be anti-clockwise, means like this direction. So we can see here in green, this will be J into IR into XL. So this will be Vs. So now we can clearly see that this angle is delta, and now we can transfer in the case of power. So whatever this XL is, the XL is responsible to transfer the power. So this is why this is called as transfer reactance. So this is called as transfer reactance. Transfer reactance. And now we are going to find out the values of the transfer reactance and what is the impact of power transfer. So now we are drawing a single line diagram. If this is ER and this is VR, I am taking only single phase, and this is J into XS synchronous reactance, and then our transmission line or transformer which have this, I'm neglecting the R value, this I'm neglecting the R value, so this is the infinite bus, and this VR at the angle of 0, this is J into XL, and this is J into XL. So this VR has different angle, let us assume this VR has delta dash, and this ER has angle of delta. So now if we will write the power transfer in between these, so PE we can write in two way. PE will be equal to ER into VR upon what we are measuring from here to receiving end. So we must take the angle difference between these two buses. So angle difference between these two buses are delta minus 0. So delta minus 0 means I can write sine of delta, and the below this impedance we have to consider this XL plus XS. So XL plus XS, and this will be the same equal to, if you take the VR means terminal voltage, so we can write now VR dash, basically this is not receiving it, this is terminal voltage, so VR dash, or you can also write VT. I am writing VT basically, so this will be equal to VT, V terminal voltage into VR upon the difference is delta dash, so sine of delta dash upon this time only XL will be represented. This is important. This is important point you must consider while you are solving the question at any point of power system stability. So this is the transfer reactance if we are taking the two voltages. So basically what is transfer reactance? Basically the question comes in mind that what is the, so the transfer reactance is, I am writing, so the transfer reactance is single equivalent reactance, single equivalent reactance which directly connect, which directly connect, which directly connect two voltage, two voltages basically, two voltages. So if we are gonna see that what will be the transfer reactance between this terminal voltage and receiving voltage, so only XL will be, not J, only XL. If we are asking what is the transfer reactance between these two voltages, ES or ER and VR, so here ER and VR, the transfer reactance is XL plus XS. So this is the transfer reactance you must consider, otherwise you will get the wrong answer. So here it is the power system model for stability studies. Thank you.